And welcome everyone to the final show of season 15 of Gridiron Nation here on Game Plus TV. And if you're looking in on YouTube, I'm Jim Mullin, your host. Later in this show, we will have the winner of the John Cornish Trophy for the top Canadian in all of NCAA football. There's 274 Canadian athletes playing in NCAA football, and we have picked the top one. Where did we pick them from? We picked them from our top 5 Canadians that we rolled out to you last week. If you weren't paying attention, here are the top 5 Canadians, our stateside 5 for the John Cornish Trophy. Boise State safety Ty Benefield is a junior Canadian standout, a Vancouver-raised son of former CFL linebacker David Benefield, and he now patrols the back end of the Broncos defense. At 6'2" and about 205 pounds, Ty wears number 0 and brings quarterback smarts from his youth days north of the border. In 2025, he's been the heartbeat of an elite Boise pass defense, earning first-team All-Mountain West honors and defensive MVP of the conference championship game. Benefield has piled up around 90 tackles, including 58 solo stops, with 7.5 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, and both a forced and recovered fumble. His game highs include multiple 11-tackle outings and a 23-yard interception return, underlying that he's as reliable as a closer there is in the Mountain West. Rutgers safety Jed Elad is a veteran Canadian playmaker from Mississauga, Ontario, whose road to the Big Ten has run through Ohio University, Garden City Community College, and a breakout stint at UNLV. The 6', 202-pound senior wearing number 9 lines up all over the secondary, bringing 7 years of college experience to the Knights' back end. In 25, he's Rutgers' leading tackler, racking up 80 total stops, 51 of them solo, with 3 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and a blocked punt taken back for a touchdown. His game highs include 11 tackles in the season finale against Penn State and at least 5 tackles in 11 different games, numbers that keep him among the most productive safeties in the Big Ten and make him a Cornish Trophy nominee for the 3rd straight year as one of the top Canadians in NCAA football. Miami defensive lineman Akeem Messidor is the Canadian engine in the Hurricanes' front 7. An Ottawa, Ontario native with Haitian roots has become a star at the U. Growing up in the North Gloucester Giants program, he moved on to Clearwater Academy in Florida, then off to West Virginia before he transferred to Miami. At 6'3", 280, wearing number 3, Messidor can line up anywhere from the edge to the interior and wreck blocking schemes. In 2025, the 6-year senior has recorded 46 tackles, 26 of them solo, 7 sacks, and 4 fumbles, earning first All-ACC honors. Edmonton native Noor Gatquath put together an important 2025 season on the defensive line for Wake Forest. After earning more reps this year, he delivered steady production with disruptive moments that stood out. Gatquath finished the season with 7 solo tackles, 8 tackles for loss, and a key sack in ACC play. His signature moment came with a rare interception for a defensive lineman, reading a rollout, dropping into the lane, and taking the ball away in a tight road win. What didn't always show up in the box score was his presence in the pass rush rotation. He consistently forced pressure, helping collapse pockets, and was part of a defensive front that held opponents under 200 yards rushing 6 times. Rutgers running back Antoine Raymond is one of college football's breakout stars in 2025. The Montreal, Quebec native first shone in high school in Quebec before transferring to Clearwater Academy in Florida, then reclassifying to Rutgers in 2024. Now a sophomore, the 5'11", 205-pound number 3 is Rutgers' feature back. In 2025, he logged 224 carries for 1,241 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns, plus 18 receptions for 225 yards and 2 more scores. Those numbers rank in the top tier nationally for rushing production and touchdowns, earning him Doak Walker Award semifinalist status and second-team All-Big Ten honors. His signature game high, 240 yards rushing on 41 carries against Maryland, the most in the Big Ten, and the third best single game total in FBS this season. When we come back, we will roll out the winner of the John Cornish Trophy. Stick around. High school football coaches nominate your players for the NFL Canada Way to Play Awards. Each week, winners earn a $3,000 equipment grant for their school program. Show us game footage that highlights safe, proper technique, and impactful play. Winners announced weekly on NFL Live and on NFL Canada's social channels. Learn more at nfl.com/CA Way to Play. And welcome back, everyone. It's the moment I know a lot of you have been waiting for, us announcing the winner of the John Cornish Trophy for this year. And the winner of the John Cornish Trophy is running back Antoine Raymond of Montreal, Quebec, and the Rutgers Scarlet Knights.
Straight up the middle inside the 40 of Maryland. He is over 200 yards rushing today. Antoine Raymond is putting on a show.
On this opening drive, on fourth down, huge play. Raymond breaks a tackle into the secondary. Touchdown, Rutgers. Raymond gets it again, right side. He's out in the open and down to the 35-yard line. In the red zone, handoff up the middle. Still on his feet, touchdown, Antoine Raymond.
And earlier, we caught up with Antoine after the announcement of the award. And now we are joined by the winner of the John Cornish Trophy. You know, John Cornish was a great running back in the NCAA. Here's the next one, Antoine Raymond. Antoine, congratulations on being selected the top Canadian in NCAA football. You know, there's 274 Canadians playing stateside. You're selected the top of that list. How does it feel?
It's definitely an honor. Thank you so much. It's definitely an honor just to be able to represent the whole country, you know. I feel like I've came a long way, and just to be blessed to be representing the country, and just being named the best Canadian football player in the NCAA is just an honor for sure.
When you look at the running backs who have won this before, such as Chase Brown or Chuba Hubbard, you're in select company. What does it feel like to be included with running backs of that quality?
It's definitely an honor. Again, it's definitely an honor. They're very great running backs. Not just Canadian running backs, just running backs in general. You know, one of the best running backs to come out of Canada. Definitely, so it's definitely a blessing to be in those companies for sure.
Hey, take me through your season. Rutgers went 5-7, maybe not where you wanted to be in the standings, but you personally had a good start. But man, did you finish strong this year? Take us through it.
I definitely think that as a team, we're definitely striving to be better. We could definitely be better. But yeah, I definitely feel like it was a pretty good season for myself. I feel like I had a lot of great people around me, such as Coach Shaw and Coach Ciano, just coaching me day in and day out, just keeping me humble throughout the whole season, because it is a long season. So I definitely think because of them and the people around me definitely kept me on the spot for sure.
Early in the season, you were getting about a dozen touches per game, but then there was a level of trust that was invested in you from the coaching staff, where you were becoming that durable running back. It actually reminded us of Chase Brown's season in Illinois, when he started to get the rock a whole bunch. What was it like to have the coaching staff put that level of trust in you to really be the motor of the offense in the second half of the season?
Definitely, it's truly a blessing. You know, when people just trust you. You know, at Rutgers, we pride ourselves on trust. We want to put the guys that we trust on the field and give the guys that we trust the ball. You know, so it's definitely a blessing to have the trust from my coaches and just everybody around me. Most definitely.
You got so many Canadians on this team. You're like an honorary Team Canada there.
Yeah,
I don't think that was by design, but what is it like to have other guys from Canada on this Rutgers squad?
Oh yeah, it's really cool. I really think it's cool. We're from Canada, so we're so far away, so you can feel like homesick sometimes and stuff like that. But just being just playing with guys next to you and around you that know what you're going through on a day-to-day basis, being so far from home, I think it's really cool. I think we motivate each other because we know how far we've came. It's not easy to come from Canada and do the things we're doing. So I definitely think it's really cool that we're playing with each other and we're around each other for sure.
You are the first winner from Quebec. I'm a little bit surprised about that because Quebec has turned out so many great football players, both in the NCAA and in U Sports over the years, and it's a great football culture in that province. Do you feel honored to represent that legacy coming out of Quebec on a day like this?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'm someone that's very proud of being from Quebec, so definitely. But I definitely do think that more people out of Quebec are next up. There's a lot of guys, a lot of younger guys in high school or even in Canada right now that I feel like they're next up, and yeah, there's a lot of other guys that are coming up for sure.
When you say about guys being next up out of Quebec, what does it feel like in terms of being someone from Quebec that's now won a national award and is getting the attention finally of people back home to show that there is a path? There is a path to the top level of college football on this continent.
It's definitely amazing, just being able to show everybody that it is possible. Like I say, I always say, we came from far away, and it is a process. It's a really hard and gritty process, definitely to get here. So just I'm just really happy that I can show and I can display that no matter where you're from, no matter where you are. You can definitely do the things that you want to do, and anything's possible for sure.
Well, you just got the news recently. Have you had the opportunity to share this with folks back home that you were selected the top Canadian in the NCAA?
The one person I tell everything to when I say I tell everything first is my mother. So I got the chance to share the moment with my mom. My mom is my biggest supporter. She knows everything. She supports me with everything. She comes to every game. So the first person I called and I could share this moment with was my mother, and she was really excited for me.
What's next up for you now as you go into the off season?
Right now I'm taking every day, day by day. But just right now, all I'm thinking about is just finding ways to get better. Having a better season than I had last year. Just watching film, taking care of my body, getting stronger and faster. So I just take everything day by day. That's how I've been rolling ever since I was young. So that's really what it is.
I know you're a forward-looking guy when you've already said last year. Last year was about a week and a half ago, really.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're focused on what's coming up. I appreciate that. Antoine, congratulations on winning the Cornish Trophy. It's a big honor. If you look through the list of guys, they've all carved out good careers for themselves, either in the NFL or in the Canadian Football League. And I think your future is very bright, and it's been a pleasure watching you throughout this season. So thank you for the great season that you put in and the way you've represented.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
We thank Antoine and the entire Rutgers program. A great center for Canadian talent, by the way, with all those great Canadians on that team. How do you become a Cornish Trophy winner? Well, one path is through the CFC Prospects Game, and we'll have Lee Barrrette on in a sec to tell you how to sign up. Stick around. There it is, our CFC 50, the top 10 high school programs in the country for this week. By the way, if you're a high school football player born in 2009 to 2011, head on over to CanadaFootballChat.com to register now for the CFC Evaluation Camp Tour. Stop in one of 9 locations across Canada for your chance to play in the 2026 CFC Prospect Game on TSN. And welcome back, everyone. Well, how do future Cornish Trophy candidates get made? Well, they go through a process, and one of those parts of the process can be the CFC game that is seen over on TSN. in May. And Lee Barrrette is the man in charge of the CFC game in Canada Football Chat and a proud partner of this show, Gridiron Nation. Lee, good to have you with us.
Great to be here, Jim.
So this is when the work begins, really, for you guys. It's not just a game in May. It's a series of evaluation camps, the opportunity for young athletes to show what they have and to try to get into a national game. For those people that have been living in a cave for a number of years now around the football scene, first of all, tell folks what the CFC game is, what the weekend is all about, and what the process is leading up to it.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. CFC Prospect Game, we're going into our 6th edition. We started in 2019, and we're going to have about a dozen of those participants drafted in this upcoming CFL draft. So the game itself, as you mentioned, is broadcast on TSN. We have, in the past few years, it's been Team Stegall versus Team Sanchez, and I anticipate and hope that's the same matchup this year. So the game will be played as last year at Tim Hortons Field, Hamilton Stadium, where the Ticats play. Will be in late May. We'll announce the date early in the year, but it's looking like May 22nd, 23rd is when it's going to be in Hamilton. And so that's when they play the game. That's the easy part. The hard part is getting there and the practices. But as far as the game week, the players, usually parents, show up a few days before. So we do 2 full days of practices, 2-a-days. We'll do that in McMaster. We might do actually this year at Tim Hortons or Hamilton Stadium the day before as well. And we've got some great coaches. You got the great U Sport coaches that help out and just some other expert coaches that are in the area. And it's as you saw last year, it's a great event. We expose them to a bunch of recruiters that are there during the week. They get the hobnoble with the Ticats are there at the same time doing their training camp, so they get exposed to that. And then the CFL, the TSN guys are there. It's a great event. It's the best players. It's best on best, which you don't get anywhere else. So you get best on best competition from coast to coast. You get on a national broadcast like TSN, which, unless you're playing in the NCAA or CFL, you're not getting on TSN. So it's a great opportunity, obviously. We had I think a big party, and we had our first Newfoundland player play last year, and there was a big party in his hometown that watched the game. And so it's a great event. I think one of the things I commented about, we have over 40 kids playing in the NCAA now that played in our event. I was watching the Saskatchewan Queens game, the semifinal U Sport game, and there was starters all over the place that are CFC Prospect Game alumni. And as I mentioned before, there's going to be a bunch drafted in this upcoming CFL draft. How you get there? We've got selection camps starting January 23rd. We're going to be on the West Coast for that one. We're coast to coast. We have 9 locations. We do our best to identify and select and invite players however you can. Take the leap of faith. Go on our website, CanadaFootballChat.com. Sign up for the evaluation camp that's in your area. We'll have 9 locations, so we should be within a couple hours drive of your house. So please, your teenagers, you might have grown 6 inches since the last time we evaluated your film. So please, sign up. We want to see you. We want to evaluate you. And it's not just for the game. It's for our rankings. It's for our star system. You're going to get a player profile. So you're going to get a bunch of exposure, no matter if you're a starter in the game, a backup in the game, you don't quite make the game. We had 4 running backs a few years ago that were all NCAA kids. And there were kids that didn't make the game who are stars now in the U Sport. So even if you don't make the game, it's still a great platform for you to expose yourself.
Through 6 years, you've had the opportunity to go through a cycle now of players that have gone from high school through college or university and have gone through a CFL draft. That must be satisfying from your perspective to be consistent year after year and see that end result.
Absolutely. We started the game, even though it started in 2019, we started working on the concept in 2014. ish. Similar games to that are in the United States, the Under Armour game or basketball game, even McDonald's All-American game. So this is our Canadian version, and it gets exposure from north and south of the border, wherever you aspire to be. And as you said, it's very satisfying. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. We knew we would put on a good product. We knew with partners like TSN and, Dwayne Ford, Far Analogy, doing the play-by-play in color, and, getting exposure during the CFL draft show. We knew we'd get the exposure. We knew we'd do our best to get the best players there. And now that we're seeing the players, there's offensive tackle from the first game that was a starter, Mississippi State. There's a running back from a couple games ago that's at Ole Miss. And then there's, some great players that have played in youth sport. I remember Ty Anderson's a kid who played in the first game, and he was with the Ticats last training camp where we were. And one of the kids that was in the game is a kid that he coached. So, football's a small world like any sport. And so we're pretty proud, and our team has done a fabulous job of producing this. We get incrementally better every year, and we this 2026 version will be no exception. It'll be better from years before.
Quickly, where can people find out more information on the camps that are coming up this winter?
Yeah, go on CanadaFootballChat.com. You'll go on our website. You'll see it. It's going to hit you right in the face where you can sign up. Again, we should be within a couple hours of driving distance from wherever you are. We hope to see you out there, and we look forward to seeing you compete and give me a great evaluation.
Lee, looking forward to being a part of it coming up in May. Thanks very much for this, and continued success.
Thanks, Jim.
When we come back, we'll bring in Gord Randall to wrap up Season 15 on Gridiron Nation. And welcome back, everyone. Hey, look who it is. Gord joins us here for the last segment, and we certainly would love to have your opinion, Gord, on the year that was, not just for NCAA, but youth sports.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'll start with youth sports. I thought it was an interesting youth sports season that felt like a little bit of a changing of a guard in a few ways. I thought we had some prominent new names, particularly the quarterback position, that took on new importance. Right, we no longer have like the Taylor Elgersmas of the world. Cal Wither steps in at Laurier. You see Drew Viotto at UBC starting to rise to prominence a little bit, and of course Pepe Gonzalez at Montreal. It also felt like a little bit of a changing of the guard, particularly the OUA, where the powers that be, like the power structure actually seems to be a little bit more fluid than it's maybe been in several years. I thought they kind of ended with a little bit of a whimper more than a bang, but I did think there were some really intriguing storylines throughout the season in youth sports, and so I think it was positive from that perspective.
As for the NCAA, another stormy year overall for college football. But when you look at the 274 Canadians are out there, what is your final conclusion from the class that we saw this year?
Well, I think the narrative throughout the season was that was a very defensive heavy class, and we did have Antoine Raymond explode into prominence on the offensive side of the ball. We saw some indications late last year, to be fair, but he definitely exceeded, I think, all reasonable expectations of him this year on the offensive side. But aside from that, that was kind of it for prominent Canadians on the offensive side of the ball at that level. And so we saw a few guys start to emerge at the FCS level, but it was really a story of defenders. And what was great, I thought, was that we saw guys contributing at all levels of the defense, right? We see, Akeem Messidor, Nur Gatkuth, Wesley Bailey, Renee Conga, even Bryce Butler, those types up front. We see linebackers, Darius McKenzie, Antoine Delorier. We see secondary guys, Jet Elad finishing his career off with a strong last season. Malcolm Bell at Michigan State, and of course Ty Benefield at Boise State. So, man, if you are a CFL fan and you're looking towards the next wave of Canadian talent in the CFL, keep your eyes on the defensive side of the ball, because there are strong contributors coming up at all three levels of the ball, and quite a few that I think are falling in that nice sweet spot that CFL fans need to look for, which are guys that are not necessarily going to get a particularly serious shot in the NFL, but are going to be a legitimate talent and a legitimate shot at CFL prominence. So I think that the future is bright in that way. And hopefully a few more names can open up next fall on the offensive side of the ball, particularly at the skill positions, that can give us a little bit more easy headlines to talk about, because don't get me wrong, I love talking about trench guys in particular, but it can sometimes be a bit of a challenge digging a little deeper, looking for the impact those guys make on the field when it isn't just prominence and jumping off the stat sheets. So that would be a welcome development next year, in particular the receiver position, just because it's so vital to the future of the CFL game.
Gord, thanks very much for this. For everyone here on Gridiron Nation, this is Jim Mullin after 15 seasons saying, let's get out to the game.